Hello, we sincerely apologize for the technical hitch that we're experiencing. I'm sure that there's been some resolution at the moment. It has to do with the audio or sound output. But our technical team are testing. Is it okay now? It's okay now. Okay. So we're sorry once again for the technical hitch that we experienced earlier. You're welcome to the weekly interactive show called TF Info Shop. And my name is Sana Atuklu. As I said earlier on, today we're hosting the acting head of the operations department of the Teachers Fund, Yusuf Tofik Alabi. He would assist us to understand all it takes to be a member of the Teachers Fund. And as usual, as I said, today is the last day of my weekly giveaways. Today I'll be giving out a face towel, branded face towel of the Teachers Fund. But of course, you know the rules, or you know the guidelines, the principles. You have to answer certain questions, and you've got to get the questions correct before you can lay hands on that face towel. So as I said, today it's a membership day, and we are fortunate to have with us the acting head of the operations department of the Teachers Fund. Yusuf, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Sana, and thank you for having me.
Now, let me ask you, if one says, if we talk about membership of the Teachers Fund, what does it entail?
Thank you very much. Even before I go into answering the question, what's the membership of Teachers Fund entails, let me use this opportunity to say that the operations department that is responsible for membership of the fund as well as the contribution plays a very key role in the activities and operations of the Teachers Fund. It's the department I call the key player when it comes to the activities of Teachers Fund. This is the department that at the point of entry into the Teachers Fund, for one to become a member, you come into contact with this department. And in between your stay with the fund, this is the same department that manages your contribution. And at the time of retirement, or when you are exiting, this is the same department that says goodbye to you by way of payment of exit entitlement, retirement package, if you want to say that. So the membership of Teachers Fund, for which the operations department is mandated to manage, clearly has to do with members and, for that matter, contributors to NATS. These are members who qualify to contribute to the fund, and these are purely members who will be described as members of the Teachers Fund.
So let me ask you, at what point can one say that he or she is a member of the Teachers Fund?
Yes, that's a very interesting question, because yes, membership of the fund, we have two categories, let me put it that way. We have provisional members. These are members whose contributions are coming through. We have contributions, or we have received contributions from these members from Controller and Accountant General. But there's what we call a fund ID. That's a unique identifier we at the Teachers Fund usually allot or assign to these contributors. So yes, you can contribute to the fund, but you do not have a fund ID. So at the point where the fund ID is assigned or allotted to you, that is where you are a full member. In other words, at the time when the contributions are coming, we have very limited information about you. The information we have about you purely are information we receive from Controller and Accountant General. Beyond that, we do not have information that borders on next of kin. We don't have information that borders on email addresses and phone number. So yes, you can be a contributor to the Teachers Fund. Your contributions are not at the Teachers Fund. We have recorded your contributions from Controller. Yes, you are a member, but we describe you as a provisional member. So we require you, as part of the arrangement, to converting you into full membership, that you fill what we call a membership registration form, where we require that certain additional information are made available for the regularization of your membership into full member status.
Okay, I'll come back to this issue of full member status. But yes, you made mention of NAT. Now, does the membership of NAT automatically make you a member of the fund?
Membership of NAT does not make you an automatic member of the teachers fund, because that explains why we have contributors to NAT who are not teachers fund members. But as much as possible, because of the good work the fund is doing and the impact the fund is having on NAT members, the slightest opportunity we get, we encourage members who are not members to contribute to the fund.
In certain instances, we've had complaints that members said, well, they did not fill any registration form, but they tend to see teachers fund dues or deductions on their payslip. And it's the reason why I asked whether does a membership of NAT automatically make you a member of the fund. Why does this arise?
Well, at the district secretariat, I'm sure our members know we have district satellite offices across the country. At the point where members apply to join the union NAT, there are forms that at the district secretariat are designed, and then district secretaries educate members why they need to join the teachers fund. Some of these members, I must admit, almost all the members we have having now complete these forms, and that's the reason why these deductions come up.
Some will say they have not, but they still see deductions.
It's a very tough one, because I've had instances where people come to challenge. I want to see my membership form. I want to see what I completed to warrant these deductions that are coming. And you know, over time, the way and manner we admit members have changed. You remember some time back when, even before the introduction of national service, at the various training colleges, staff IDs are allotted to members. There are some who fill the membership registration form to join the teachers fund whilst in the training colleges. Colleges of Education. Once they complete and the salaries begin to come, automatically you are hooked up to the teachers fund.
So so do we take it that then controller eventually also thought that it was just a free flow of traffic?
Okay, so that even brings up another thing. Some time back, union deductions have been tied, or controller tried doing this. They wanted to avoid a situation whereby you belong to one union and you are contributing to another union's fund. So at the controller's level, they try to link or to match union deductions to their respective funds.
Okay.
So for instance, the Ghana National Association of Teachers has established the teachers fund. So some time passed. What was happening was that once you belong to NAT, because the NAT union contributions are linked or tied to the teachers fund contribution, automatically as a NAT member, these deductions come on board. These were measures that were introduced by the controller to avoid what needs to happen, that a NAGRAT member or somebody who contributes to NAGRAT union does not get the chance or opportunity to contribute to the teachers fund, because the NAGRAT as a union has established this fund where members are expected to contribute. Sometime back, these two were tied together, and that could also result to whatever you are looking at.
So now let me ask you, for instance, assuming a member fills his or her registration form today, do you then automatically or then register the person to become a member?
Okay, so when a member fills his membership registration form, the first thing we do at the fund secretariat is to check if contributions are coming. And that's still
so if contributions are not coming.
If contributions are not coming,
yes,
it only means that we need to get contributions first to come through. because it is the contributions that come through that will warrant subsequent regularization of your membership using the fund beneficiary form you completed.
So it means that in the event that someone registers today, it takes 3 months before first contribution comes. Then his membership of the fund is assumed to have started on the day his first contribution came. Is that it?
Precisely so. Membership of the fund is usually in relation to the first month of contribution.
Okay.
Not the day necessarily the fund ID was allotted or signed. So you get some members who contribute close to about 6-7 months before the membership form even comes. Membership start date is the day the contribution is recorded.
So what it means that if someone fills a form today, 3 months before his first contribution comes, that is when you allot a fund ID as well?
When somebody fills a form today,
yes,
3 months. So if you fill a form,
yes,
it is expected that your contributions would have started coming in.
okay.
So if it is the case that you have completed a form and your contributions haven't started coming in,
Yes.
that is an avenue for us to get your contributions on board first. And then subsequently the registration is done where the fund number is assigned. But for somebody who fills the membership registration form and contributions have come in already,
Okay.
then that is an opportunity to register and update the person's information with other fields like next of kin and email addresses.
Okay. You spoke about, so at what point is one considered a provisional member of the fund?
Yes, at the point where your first contribution starts coming in without you having to complete the membership registration form, and for that matter, without a fund number being assigned, because it's the membership registration form that guarantees you a fund ID number. So when we say provisional members, we are talking of contributors who have not yet been assigned fund ID, but contributions, we reckon contributions are coming through.
Okay. How long does it take to generate a fund ID for a registered member? How long does it take for a registered member to be assigned a fund ID?
Let me say, fund ID it's just a click. It's a click away. So once your membership registration form is received, instantly the fund number is sent, and it triggers an SMS where an SMS is sent to you with the fund ID that has been generated.
How would you react or respond to complaints that sometimes they've registered, their contributions have been coming in, yet they do not have fund IDs?
Yes, I think that it's one area we are looking at. I reckon the current arrangement where we require our members to contact the various district secretariats to fill the membership registration form forward same to the fund secretariat before the number is assigned can be tedious sometimes, considering how far some of our members are from their respective district secretariats. Yes, it's a challenge. We have identified that. There's a giant move we are making, trying to get this thing digitalized, where our members just in the comfort of their rooms can get this information forwarded to the fund secretariat, and then quickly the fund number is generated, assigned, and an SMS triggers an SMS onto your phone. We are trying to make this process very simple for our members. But the current arrangements, as we have it, yes, I understand can be a bit tedious, where we require you to contact your district secretary, complete a form, and then forward same to the district to the fund secretariat, where subsequently the number is generated and sent to you. We are trying to make this a bit more flexible for our members, where in the comfort of your room as a contributor, you can just trigger the process, and then you get your fund number generated and sent to you.
What are the requirements if one wants to register as a member of the fund?
I think that the requirements are pretty simple and straightforward. Currently, we require that you contact your district secretary. You pick what we call the membership registration form. The membership registration form is expected to be completed and attach a passport size picture. Most importantly for us, this form must be signed. A lot of the time the form gets to us not duly endorsed, and then one key area we've also noticed is that next of kin information is not complete. Usually our members do not complete. Yes, but we require as part of the process that these portions are completed and forwarded. And once we receive it, like I said, it's just a button away. The number is generated and then you receive that service.
We know that there are two categories of contributors to the fund. Could you elaborate on these categories?
Okay. We, like you rightly said, we have two categories. We have the basic contributors, and then we also have the optional contributors. By basic contributors, what we mean is that that's the minimum amount. These are the minimum contributors. As we speak, periodically we review our contribution amount, but as it stands now, the basic contribution, it's pegged at $50. That is to say, it is the minimum amount below which a member cannot contribute. But we have optional contributors, which we always advise our members to be, where there's that's luxury where you want to do over and above the basic amount. Yes. So basically, these are two categories. You have the basic and then the optional contributors.
Now let's talk about. I asked this question because I want us to get into the realms of increment. Yeah. Some have complained. Some actually do not even know that there are opportunities to increase their monthly contributions. What can you tell them so much so that they can understand the system and now accept and take those steps?
What I can tell our contributors is that I'm sure we all know, and by now we should have known how expensive retirement is. It's a very serious business, and for those contributors of ours who know or are aware of the returns we pay on contributions, these are very impressive returns we pay, and having established how expensive retirement is, then there's a need for us to start planning towards retirement now. And there's no need we keep on shifting the goalpost that I have quite some years ahead of me to work. And once we have established a very expensive business, then we need to plan. And for me, planning towards retirement and using the teachers fund to plan for retirement basically means that you need to commit extra in terms of contribution. Because like I'm saying, if you look at the returns we pay to our members, on the average, we are doing close to about 100% returns that we pay on contribution. And this is for those, or this goes to those who genuinely dedicate to contributing over and above the basic amount. Because we've always maintained that what will determine the amount of money you take home at retirement, it's basically how much and how long you have been contributing. So it tells you that optional contribution is key to determining how much you take home at the end of the period when you are on retirement. Yes.
So how does one get his or her monthly contribution increased?
It's fairly straightforward. We have currently we do that using the TPR design form, the Controller Accountant General forms, where you can contact your district secretary, you complete these forms, and then the forms are forwarded for the necessary increment to be done. But to even a step further, to make life very easy for our members, it could be through WhatsApp. You can forward these through our dedicated lines we have at the Fund Secretariat. You could just forward your name, the amount you want to step up your contribution to your district secretary, and then you gladly get these contributions increased.
How long does it take for such increments to take place? Assuming I'm a member of the fund and I ask for an increment today.
Yes, of course. I know we are mindful of the TPRS window, the timing, but it shouldn't go beyond 1 month once you have affordability. So granted that your increment comes in today is 28th. November window is still open. So it only means that by close of November, you should see this implemented effect once there's affordability.
Is there a rule or a guiding principle whereby one wants to increase his or her contribution, and the person would be told that, okay, you only must increase it to a certain level or to a certain amount at a particular time?
No, we don't have rules regarding that. It's very open. Like I said, it's a very flexible system we are operating with. There's no cap to how much or ceiling to how much you can raise your contribution to. Once there's affordability to support whatever amount you want. But let me even stress, for those who do not have affordability, in other words, we can't get this increment through CAGD. We have made life very easy for our members when we have what we call the off-payroll contribution, where you can even walk in or through our bankers, pay or deposit some amounts into our bank account, and then gladly these amounts will be credited subsequently into your account and in your name. Yeah.
The issue of next of kin or beneficiaries, how important or how critical is that to one's membership of the fund?
Well, very, very important, and suffice to say, even beyond the activities of Teachers Fund, next of kin details are very, very important. But even trying to limit this to the activities of Teachers Fund, it only means that you are asking or directing the fund that in your absence or in your demise, benefits or your entitlement should be given to whoever has been nominated. It's a very serious area that our contributors must pay attention to. If you look at the membership we are operating with, you will notice that a lot of the time our members come and update their information. Of course, it's one area a lot of people, everybody wants to live and enjoy whatever he or she contributes. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Sometimes the inevitable happens that in the course of your contribution, you happen to pass on. Then you will have to fall on whatever information you leave behind in connection with who is supposed to be your next of kin, because the entitlement would have to go into his or her name. So it's a very important area that I want to seize this opportunity to tell our members that periodically let's make time, let's request for our statements, let's know who we have nominated as next of kin in the system. Let's take time and ask ourselves, do I still want to maintain this person? If no, then let's seize the opportunity to update it, because we are only saying that this person should take over my contribution plus interest in my absence. So please let's seize the opportunity once more. Let's request for our statement and we should be interested in who our next of kin is and whether we want to maintain whoever we have in the system or not. And if you are not, then it's a very good time for us to get it updated.
You're still watching TF Info Show. My guest today is the acting head of the operations department of the Teachers Fund, Yusuf Tawfiq Alabi. We're talking about membership of the fund. Everything and anything about membership of the fund, from registration to monthly contribution to beneficiaries. You can send us your comments, as usual. Your comment and your queries, your inquiries are welcome. Let me ask you, how many beneficiaries can one nominate?
Currently, a maximum of 4 beneficiaries. Yes, maximum of 4 beneficiaries, and then we expect the percentage sharing to sum up to 100.
Okay. And if one wants to change his or her nominees, how does the person go about that process?
Yes, we have a next of kin update form that the member is expected to complete, and as part of the process, we will require you to state your current next of kin. These are security checks we have put in place just to be sure that you know whoever you have in the system, and then you want to update whatever you have currently in the system. Yes, so as part of the arrangement, we require you to provide the current or the existing next of kin as you have it in the system, and then you also provide whoever you want to use assistance.
Okay. Tofik, someone is asking a question. Ferguson Ifa Jr. says, please, can I update my beneficiaries or next of kin on the CRM members portal?
Yes, it's possible. It's possible. Next of kin information can be updated on the CRM portal.
How does the person go about it?
Yes, I think that once you are signed up onto the CRM,
yes,
there's option for you to provide your next of kin and also to update on that same platform.
So that can be done.
That can be done.
Because I know some time back we were told that that functionality was not active. So it means that now people can actually change or request for changes via that system.
Very well.
Okay. So Ferguson, your question has been answered. Tofik says that you can now effect changes or update your next of kin or beneficiaries via the CRM portal. Tofik, one of the, can we talk about the group solidarity scheme that members also enjoy? What is it about? What is the group solidarity scheme?
Okay, the group solidarity scheme we popularly call insurance. It's a solidarity scheme that the Teachers Fund has established for its contributing members. So the emphasis is on contributing members before their demise. So it means that to qualify for that, you should have been a contributing member before your demise. And very close to that is the incapacitation. We also have a package for our members who, in the course of contributing to the fund, they are permanently disabled. There's also that option for them to access the package.
And what does the package contain?
Okay, so in the case of contributing members who pass on, your contributions would have to be computed plus the interest, and the package currently is at 500. Of course, this is subject to review. Would also be added to whatever your contribution plus interest is, and then paid to the next of kin. But in the case of a surviving person who is incapacitated, that amount of money together with his contribution, by that amount of money, I mean the 500 Ghana cedi package, would be added to his contribution plus interest and paid.
Now, is the fund open to non-NAT members?
The fund, earlier in my submission, I said that it is open to NAT members. So for non-NAT members who want to contribute to the fund, yes, it is open, but there are some rules governing that you will have to first write to NAT and get NAT consent, because we are managing contributions from some private institutions who have written to NAT and gotten approval from NAT. In other words, they are ready to be contributing to the union as NAT. And once you fulfill that requirement and you get approval from NAT, the Teachers Fund is always ready to accept you into our fold.
So it means that they are expected to apply to NAT.
Yes.
Tell NAT that they want to join the fund, and they are willing also to join NAT and pay NAT dues.
So there are certain conditions once they meet with NAT. NAT gives them the go ahead, and then gladly will manage their contributions from there.
The show is still TF Info Shop. Yes, we started late today. It's past our time, but I think that we would have about 2-3 minutes conversation with Tofik, and then we'll wrap up with our gifts for today. Tofik, now, why should someone, a teacher for that matter, a NAT member, decide to join the Teachers Fund? Why should the person join the Teachers Fund?
Well, the opportunities are numerous. Let me start by saying that for contributors or for those who have joined NATS, it only means that you are fortunate to have joined the largest private pension scheme in this country. And for those who are yet, this is an opportunity to join the largest pension scheme. This is a fund that, on the average, we pay close about, like I indicated, we pay close about 98% returns on the contribution members make. And we spoke about good solidarity for deceased and incapacitated members. These are packages that are also available to our members. Of course, I think for the purpose of this discussion, I'll be limited to whatever pertains in the operations department. But even if you look at it from the loan side, the interest rate that is being charged is the cheapest out there that our members can get. And then for prospective members, these are some of the reasons why you should want to join the Teachers Fund ahead of other sister funds that are running.
What else can you share with our viewers in terms of the fund?
Well, what I can say is to stress that this is a fund that is evolving. This is a fund that has seen significant growth over time. This is a fund that has been valued in excess of 2 billion within the past 18 months, 18 years, sorry, when the close about 20 years when the fund was established. And if you look at the growth rates over the years, it tells you that this is a fund that has a very bright future. Yes.
Okay. You are still watching TF Info Shop. Our guest is Yusuf Tawfiq Alabi, acting head of the operations department of the Teachers Fund. Our usual things we do. It's 49 minutes past the hour of 4, and we are just about wrapping up on the show. And as usual, it's our question time. And what I expect you to do is to raise your hand and type. There are 5 questions. So raise your hand and type. If it's question 1 you want, you type question 1. If it's question 2 you want, you type question 2. I'll read out that question for you, and you're expected to answer. Once you answer it correctly, today I'm giving out a face towel. Let me see from my production team. Yes, it's okay. So this is it. A branded Teachers Fund face towel. Branded Teachers Fund face towel. It's up for grabs. So you can send us your requests. There are 5 questions I have here in the box. If you answer, okay, Ferguson. If first says he wants question 1, okay, Ferguson, your question is: in which month was the Teachers Fund established? Not year, month. In which month was the Teachers Fund established? Ferguson, in which month? So you type the answer, and then you have your Teachers Fund branded face towel. In which month, Ferguson, was the Teachers Fund established? In which month was the Teachers Fund established? Topic. Let's maybe I'll revisit some of the things that you touched on earlier. Now, so how does one get registered? Because I remember I did not ask you that question. And there's one other subject, maybe briefly we can touch on the issues of exit, but how and where does one get registered?
Thank you very much, Senna. I indicated for contributors who want to get registered. In other words,
okay. Let me just Ferguson has answered. Ferguson, if I says May, so Ferguson is if I has one question 1 is out, Ferguson, but only you want to answer all questions. Oh, please allow others to, because you're asking for question 2 too, Ferguson. Don't be greedy. Oh, please, don't be greedy. Yes, sorry. Topic. Yes, you're talking.
For contributing members who want to get registered, can contact their respective district secretaries or the nearest district secretariat, complete the membership registration form, and once the completed membership registration form is forwarded to the fund secretariat, we assess this form and gladly we assign or allot the fund number to you. An SMS will be sent to you immediately the fund number is generated and you get to know your fund.
So how does one also get to know how much he has contributed and how much interest or return has been generated on those contributions?
Okay, I think that with that there are so many platforms. You can request for your statement through the district secretary, but we have made life easy through the USSD, where you can use the USSD to request for your statement. And on that statement, you get to see your total contribution, whatever returns your contribution is attracted, and then you get to see the total fund value as you have it.
Now, you mentioned USSD. Can you share with our viewers the USSD code so that the person would know that, look, you are keeping abreast with the technology as well?
Okay, like Senator rightly said, we're trying to keep in touch with the latest technology as we have it. So we have designed that platform which allows our members to be able to access some basic information that traditionally they would have had to contact their district secretaries to get that. The short code is *800#, and then once you punch that, it requires you to register. That is, if you haven't registered. And as part of the registration process, it requires you to enter your passcode. Passcodes have been generated and sent to district secretariat.
Because I was going to ask you, how does one get the passcode?
Yes, we have generated passcodes and sent to all district secretaries. So passcodes have been made available. And the passcode, I must stress, is a one-time entry. Once you enter, it ends there. It synchronizes with the first-time phone number you use. And subsequently, once you launch onto that platform, it doesn't require you to enter, or it doesn't require the passcode. You have access to whatever information you want. And on that platform, you are able to access or to see what your current contribution with the fund is. You get to see what your total contribution also with the fund is. And then for those who want, traditionally we used to send hard copy statements. Now, as part of the latest move, you can request for the annual statement on that platform if you have an active email, and then the statement will be sent into that email immediately your request comes through.
How often are passcodes generated? Because I presume almost every day you're registering new members. Yeah. So how often do you also generate passcodes?
Passcodes are generated every month.
Okay.
Once we receive a report from CAGD, there is a likelihood that new contributors would have come on board. We generate passcodes for everyone at the end of the month. So we update this list with various district secretaries on a monthly basis.
Okay. Now, once we've all agreed, or we've been told, you've told us that membership of the fund is more a voluntary decision. What about exit?
Yes, with exits, that is the generic name we have. We have voluntary exits, and then we have retirement. Okay. Voluntary exit that we will not encourage, because if you look at the history of this fund, NAT established this as a retirement supplement. So it tells you that we would have wished that every contributor of ours stays with us up until retirement. And we also have retirement payment. So like I said, exit is a generic name made up of voluntary payment, that's the voluntary exit, and then retirees as well. Retirees are those who are up to 60 or close to about 60 that are due for pension. So they would have contributed, and then their returns would be computed based on whatever amount they've contributed, and then we pay that. So it means that for retirees, the likelihood that they will have the full complement of the returns is very high. They would have contributed, and then this contribution would have stayed for quite some time. So it gets it attracts whatever returns it's supposed to attract, because in my earlier submission I stated that time and also the amount is of essence in determining how much you take home. But for the voluntary exit, these are people who are contributors who are not up to the age of 60, who are not up to retirement age, but for one or two reasons would want to take their monies or contribution prematurely. Like I said, it is a voluntary scheme. As much as possible, we don't encourage that from our members.
Now, let me ask, how long does it take to process someone's retirement benefit?
Well, we are just looking about 48 to about 72 hours. Yes, that is to say, once the form comes in-house. Let me clarify that, because
okay.
Some would have been looking at, because of distance, some would be in the northern part, the Volta region, central region. We are looking at 72 hours upon receipt of the application in-house.
Retirement benefits would have been processed.
Retirement benefits would have been processed, sure.
Okay. Yeah, I think time is fast spent. Ferguson Ifa has sent a request. Ferguson, your request is well noted. You want us to create a page on the District Secretary's CRM portal where the passcodes can be accessed periodically. Ferguson, that is well noted. Steps will be taken along these lines. So, well, today it was only Ferguson who. Yes, I won't give you any other face towel. It's only one. You're entitled to one, and that is, don't be greedy. So, thank you very much, Taufik, for passing through TF Info Shop and sharing with us all the issues concerning membership of the fund. If you have any further questions or clarification, you can send it to our page. As you know, we have actually deactivated the profile page, and we have a business page that is currently operating, and the handle is Teachers Mutual Fund. Teachers Mutual Fund. So go to facebook.com, log on to your Facebook, and look for Teachers Mutual Fund. Teachers Mutual Fund. And you get Teachers Fund, and you get our page. Till we come your way next week with another edition of TF Info Shop. My name is Sana Atoglu. Thanks very much for watching and staying tuned.